On a cloudy day in late December of 2021, this unusual scene played out in a Phoenix park. More than 24 women and girls, some holding babies, all adorned in fundamentalist attire.
There's just no room for darkness in our lives.
Gathered around a picnic table to sing religious hymns. Their audience, me. The performance orchestrated by this man, Samuel Bateman, a man unknown to me prior to this unique meeting. During the previous week, Bateman had repeatedly called me, insisting that we meet face to face. Bateman claimed that he was a new prophet of the FLDS faith. He boasted of owning 2 Bentleys and 2 Range Rovers. And he told me that he had been instructed by God to meet Mike Watkiss and the Queen of England. As it turns out, the Queen passed away a few months later without ever granting an audience to Bateman. But when I reluctantly agreed to meet with Bateman at this very public Phoenix park, he showed up with an entourage of women and girls, referring to them as his ladies. The bizarre interaction brief. After 2 songs, Sam headed back to Colorado City with his ladies, and me left feeling like I had just been to a crime scene. Having covered polygamous communities and their self-proclaimed prophets for decades, the red flags were obvious. I notified local and federal law enforcement about my encounter with Bateman, and then sat back and waited.
Come over here, please.
Let's see your hands!
Fast forward 8 months.
Is he the driver?
Yeah.
It was August of 2022 when Samuel Bateman suddenly found himself in the center of a very real crime scene when he was pulled over in Flagstaff towing a trailer behind a truck. In the truck, 2 young women and 2 young girls. Then the shocking discovery, 3 more underage girls locked inside the cluttered, unsafe, and unsanitary trailer, each of them wearing wedding rings.
I would have liked law enforcement to get involved sooner. Human traffickers are using religion to do human trafficking, and I think this is an example of that.
By your calculations, how many of your family members are still devoted to Sam Bateman?
Probably between 10 and 15.
Faith Beislein and her brother Worth know the story well. 2 of their brothers, 2 of their sisters, 2 of their nieces, even their mother, all followers of Samuel Bateman. Many of their faces seen in the images from the park and on the body cam footage from Flagstaff.
I hope Sam gets locked away for forever. They throw away the key.
Sam Bateman has utterly shattered my family into a million pieces. I knew this was coming. I know the way that these cults go. This is the end result.
That end result could put Sam Bateman away forever. While behind bars after his arrest in Flagstaff, prosecutors say Bateman directed his adult followers to abduct 8 underage girls from protective DCS custody. They were tracked down a few days later in Spokane, Washington. Among the girls, 2 of Faith and Worth's sisters.
They absolutely should be held responsible. They're adults. It sucks that their mind is being controlled by someone else, but they are adults. And child abuse, child sexual assault is a very black and white issue.
Faith and other family members now actively involved in the lives of her 2 teenage sisters, rescued from Sam Bateman and his cult. How are those young women doing and what's going on in their lives?
It's different for each of them, but for the most part, they're doing well. They're in school. They have all decided they do not believe in Sam Bateman anymore, and they want to live their own life.
Facing 51 criminal counts and a mountain of evidence, Bateman would strike a deal with federal prosecutors, pleading guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of a minor and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. As part of the plea, Bateman had to acknowledge his 3-year crime spree in open court, starting in 2019 when he began proclaiming himself a prophet, admitting to taking the daughters and wives of his male followers, transporting underage girls across state lines, and having sex with those young victims on multiple occasions. Bateman faces at least 20 years in prison.
I don't think that he really deserves to be walking around. He's too manipulative. He has too much influence over too many people, and he's done some very, very terrible things.
Sam is just one in a long line. I think they're going to keep coming as long as there are people who don't have critical thinking skills and who are looking for a profit.
And Faith believes that Bateman continues to pose a threat even behind bars because he still has devoted followers living in homes full of children. We recently knocked on the doors of Bateman's Colorado City homes, and while we could hear people inside, no one answered.
There are a lot of little children who are being cared for by followers of Sam. I think as long as Sam does not have communication with his followers, those children are safe. The minute he starts to have communication with those followers, the door opens for them to no longer be safe.